everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. Today I thought I would jump on and play around with the Brewed For You bundle. I don't know if you've seen this in the annual catalog, but when I saw it, I thought that was so darn cute. It's got beer mugs and beer glasses and a growler and just some great sentiments. And so if you've got somebody who likes beer in your family or your friends, this might be a bundle that you should look at. So I'm going to see how this turns out. I have an idea in my head. I don't know. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's bad, but we'll see how it goes. So let me switch over. And while I'm switching over, I've got my iPad over here so that I can actually see that I'm live. Looks like I am live and there are captions, so clearly Facebook's hearing me. That's a good thing. Okay. All right, so this is the Brewed For You products or bundle. So great stamp set. It is a photopolymer stamp set. It is two-step stamping, so you have the outline as well as the insides, so you can just stamp or you can color like I'm going to. I grabbed some blends to use to color some beer. Some really cute sentiments, and I really love the fonts on this one. And then, of course, some froth or bubbles. I don't know, froth, I guess. I've seen some really cool things. A demonstrator, Sandra Canton, shared a card a week or two ago where she used the, I don't have it handy, it is the white frayed ribbon, and she used it to make the froth on it. So really cool. Hey, Lorraine. Nice, great. Oh, good. A lot of people are joining. Good. Welcome, Darcy. If you are coming in through YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I go live. Otherwise, there's no way for me to notify that I'm going live. So, all right, so let's get started. As I said, I've grabbed some blends to use to color. Now, I am going to use, I've pulled out, I'm going to use Very Vanilla, which I don't use very often, but it just seemed to fit for this card and the colors. I have got, oops, let's put that out of the way. I've got a piece of Early Espresso cardstock, and this is cut 4 1/4 by 11. So half of your piece of cardstock cut on the long ways, and I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. As always, I use my paper trimmer to score. And I fold, this is the side I scored on, so flip it over and score and fold into the mountain or into the fold, the score line, the raised line, and then grab your bone folder and give it a really good crease. All right, so Early Espresso card base, and then I've got a piece of crumb cake, which is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. Oh, actually, let's do that. That's a little better. 4 inches by 5 1/4. This is first layer. And then I've got a piece of crushed curry, which is cut 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. So it's going to go there. And then I'm combining it with, this is the He's the Man. Hey, Alma, welcome. He's the Man designer series paper from the, or He's All That designer series paper. I can't remember what it's called. Let's see. I've got it here. So this is from the, let's see. It is, oh, that's not it. All right. I don't actually have the, I've got the wrong one, and I've got my catalog here though. So let's get the right name for this. It is He's the Man, page 78 and 79 of the annual catalog. So it's called He's the Man Designer Series paper. And it's great because it's got some kind of masculine designer series paper. So this is one of the pieces on the back of this one, is this great one with the ties and the glasses and the mustache. But I'm going to cover that up and use just the pattern. All right, so let's adhere this down. So this was 2 inches by 5 1/4, and then the crushed curry below it was 2 1/4. So just a little bit bigger, so you're getting, you're seeing that matte layer. All right, okay, let's do some stamping now. So on this one, cover that up, I'm going to stamp some of these beer steins. You can see I haven't used this yet. First time. Good morning, Catherine. Yeah, I love this one too, Nancy. When I saw it, I definitely knew this was one that I had to have. All right, let's do some stamping. And I want to use crumb cake because I want to add a little bit of texture to this background, this first layer. So I'm going to actually stamp off, but I'm just going to kind of stamp some beer mugs behind here. Some on, some off. Just to kind of give it some texture. There we go. And I didn't want it being too dark, which is why I used crumb cake and why I stamped off. So this is just going to go on my card base. Like this. Okay, there we go. All right, and now this piece can go on. We'll do some more stamping in a minute. So this piece is now going to go on roughly 1/2 inch or so from the left-hand edge. All right. Okay, so we'll do some more stamping. Let's put the inside of the card. So I've got a piece of very vanilla. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp in tuxedo black because I'm going to color using my Stampin' Blends. So I'm going to stamp a couple here, these beer steins. So I said if you there is a stamp that you can stamp the inside of these. And while I'm at it, let's stamp a sentiment to put on. What shall we put on? Here we go. This will be perfect. And I know who I'm going to give this to. I'm giggling to myself. My husband always tells me I owe him a beer for doing things. So I think he's going to get this card. Because this says, oops, that's not very straight. This says, I owe you one or several, which I'm pretty sure is true. I hadn't looked at these sentiments until I just looked at that one. All right, let's do some coloring. Now, I grabbed, depending on what kind of beer you like, you can use, this is Mango Melody. I don't know, that might be too yellow, too orangey color. Well, maybe not. So if you like a light beer, you know, that might be one to use. And then I grabbed crumb cake, and then I grabbed the two deep, these are the natural tone blends. So I'm going to start out with light crumb cake just to add some color. It's a bit of an experiment because I actually don't know how this is going to go. But it's the kind of fun part of coloring for me. You can always add more color to your image. So we're going to actually cut these out with the dies. So I'm just coloring the inside of mine where the beer would be. There we go. All right, so I've got some crumb cake now. Let's add a little bit of, so you don't actually always have to use the same the same color. So you don't always have to use the light and the dark of the crumb cake, for example. So I'm adding the light mango melody over top of the crumb cake. And I could make my 2 beer steins have different color beer in it, but it's just easier to, otherwise I'll be here all day coloring, and I'm sure you don't want that. All right, so that's not a bad color for beer. So let's just take and let's see what this, I'm not gonna, this might be, oh, that's quite dark. Okay, I'm not gonna use those too dark. If you wanted to do craft beer, maybe this is what you want, but I'm actually gonna take some of the dark mango melody and just kind of add in little bits. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. And then I'm going to take my dark crumb cake. Ooh, okay. I'm going to have to go back over this with, because I've lost a lot of the yellow. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's now quite brown. All right. I'm going to go back over this with my light mango melody and see if I can, maybe my dark mango melody, and get some more yellow to it. It's actually not a bad, not sure you can see it, but it's really not a bad color for a beer. So it's a bit of trial and error. All right, so there's my beer stein. Not too bad. Okay, and now I'm going to use the dies. So the cool thing about these dies, I don't know if I showed you them. So you can cut this piece off, which I haven't stamped yet. And then there's the insides, which actually will emboss these little bubbles going up. So if you wanted to just cut those out of a cardstock, you could absolutely do that. Okay, so I'm going to just do that. But while let's do this. I am going to stamp this piece so that I can cut it out at the same time. So this is going to be the bubbles, the head. I used to curl, and we always had to, as part of curling, you had to work in the bar. And it was really hard to pour a glass of beer without getting it mostly the froth. Okay, I'm just going to take on, I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine off to the side, so I'm just cutting these beer steins and the other pieces out. So I will be right back. And one done. Uh-oh, dropped one. There it is. Okay, one to go. And then we can finish putting our card together. All right. Okay, there we go. Use the dies. Okay. The dies back. Okay, so the other thing that I've gone ahead and cut out is, I don't know if you've seen these amazing, these are the Stylish Shape dies, and I have used the second largest one and cut it out of crushed curry. So we're going to put that on here, and that's where my kind of beer steins are going to go. And then these will fit like that. I'm not going to color those because beer, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not sure why I'm not going to color them, but I'm not. All right, so let's use some dimensionals to pop up the beer steins. And let's put one going like that. I like crushed curry too, Nancy. And let's do one like that. Okay, we'll put this on first because I'm going to have to. All right, so we'll put that on. I'm not going to pop it up anymore because there's going to be lots of dimension to this. So we will just adhere these. I love these stylish shapes dies because they're stitched, and they are stitched both on the piece that so the piece I've cut out, and also on the piece, I don't know that you can see it. So this is the piece I cut out from, and it's actually stitched around this. So if you were wanting to use the negative, it's stitched as well, which is really cool. Okay, and then let's put a dimensional on these pieces. And that can go on right like that. Cute card. And now the sentiments that I stamped, I'm going to take and fussy cut. Yeah. And I'm just going to take this. Yeah, I really love this stamp. I love this bundle. I think it's going to be a really fun bundle to play with. All right, there. We've just done that. You could use a punch or a die if you wanted to cut that out. But many of you will know that I tend to fussy cut my sentiments. All right, I'm going to put 3 on so the middle doesn't sag. 3 dimensionals on. And we will just put that. And somewhere I grabbed these. These are the Rustic metallic adhesive back dots. These are part of the He's All That. So the same as the designer series paper. And so let's just take and use these and put some of these on. There are 2 different sizes. And we'll put one down here. Oops. You could use linen thread. Linen thread would look really nice with this as well. Okay, now one more. So let's, I'm just going to stamp the mug, the beer stein in the bottom corner on the inside. So this inside piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp. And let's stamp this off so it's not quite so, and then we'll just stamp that like that. There. And then this can go on the inside of the card. All right. Like that. Yep, I'm gonna love this bundle already, I can tell. All right, so there's my card. I think it turned out okay. The color is not too bad. It's not like a real light lager beer, but it's you know, it's got some dimension to it as well. And so I think there's lots of things that you can do with this, and no matter what kind of beer drinker you have in your family or circle of friends, I think there's something for everything, from the growler to the beer glasses to the stein to these ones tend to be the glasses that are used more for some of the European beers come in these glasses, but you could use that for even brandy, for example. So I think that there's all sorts of things that you can do with this one. All right, there we go. So hopefully enjoyed the card and that you'll take a look at this bundle in the catalog. A few reminders. One, I will be back live at noon tomorrow Pacific. Yeah, happy hour. That's great, Catherine. Noon Pacific tomorrow with another project for you. If you are if you're a customer or you'd like to be a customer, I have my virtual launch party coming up on May 28th. Also, if you're part of my team. And so the link to that is in my Facebook group. And you can find the Facebook links and other social media links underneath this video. So if you're not part of that virtual launch group, you're welcome to join. And we have a make and take package. So if you want the make and take package, you need to tell us that you want that and we will send it out to you. I partner with Diane Evans on my virtual launch. So we just need to know how many kits to actually prepare. So that's on the 28th. We have a few other things coming up. There is the Hues of Happiness Stamp Camp at the end of July, and there's information about that. So purchase the Hues of Happiness suite, and you're automatically registered for the Stamp Camp, which gets you 13 make and take kits as well as 13 bonus projects that you can make. And we have a techniques class coming up on June 11th. You can register up until May 20th for that. So you'll find all of that information on my Facebook group and Facebook page. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Happy stamping. Bye.